Let's go. Let's go for 5 with this deck. Anyways, I feel like Hey, Kirkland. I think I already apologized once, but let me just say little strong of a reaction from me. Your phrasing was a little bit more reasonable than a lot of the phrasing has been about that. But again, it's like backseating, and backseating isn't bad. Like, let me rephrase this. Backseating is really shitty. Being like, hey, Filthy, you missed lethal because XYZ would have been lethal. It's like, oh yeah, fuck, I should have done that. That's a good comment. But when you're not right, that's the harder one, right? So try to double check if you're gonna tell me I did something wrong. Try to double check that I actually did something wrong, so that I don't have to do the work for you, right? There's 500 of you, and if all of you are second guessing what I'm doing but not double checking that, that means I have to check all of the things that all of you say to prove that they're wrong, as well as play the game, right? Like, you do the double checking on your side since I'm playing, streaming, and defending it, right? What's our win with this? We're 3 and 4 and 2 right now. Kept our hand because we have a 3 and a 4 and some mana, so yeah. And I don't mind explaining my plays. If you're like, hey, Filthy, how come you didn't attack then? Well, I didn't attack them because I can only do 5 damage, even with recurring the lightning bolt. All right, so we've got a Overseer for next turn. And then I'm gonna Rampaging Cyclops into a Rampaging Cyclops, which is great if they have no creatures, or if they want to block here. I'm actually okay trading this into a 1/3 right now, just because I don't want them to have 2 blockers by the time we put out the Cyclops. Yeah. Could ignore people who are wrong, but that again requires that I check that they're wrong, Vampire, right? Like, I still have to double check the comment if they're wrong. I still have to go through and work out their line of play. Don't think it should be on me. If you want to offer a comment, it should be on you. If your comment is you did something wrong, you could have done it differently, how is it on me to double check that? It's on you to double check it as the person offering it. 1/3. It's pretty good versus our board, unfortunately. When is chat ever right? Lots of times. There's lots of good Magic players in chat right now, or players who are probably more experienced than me, or I make mistakes and you guys point it out, and that helps me. I get better because I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I totally missed that. Like Torvar, or whatever that black legendary is from this set. Like, chat was like, that thing heals you, and you fucked up twice now and died and lost the game. At least once because of that. Which is kind of amusing. Alright, let's see what he wants to do. I suspect it's combat trick because he's got 4 mana of 3 different colors, but maybe it's not. I like second Cyclops more than I like anything else here. I guess it could be countered. The Journey Mage is almost as good, and getting the Arcanist down isn't bad either. There's no Essence Scatter in this format though, right? I think I like the Cyclops more. All right. I still don't see what he's talking about, Noveline. The last time I remember making a decision was just like, need him. Remember, I made a comment on stream, right? Like, I need my opponent to stop playing creatures so I can remove, so get him to keep swinging, so he only has the 1 blocker, so I can do something. All right, these guys can shrink my dudes. So probably here, as much as I don't want to fire Intervention of Druid, I'm going to do it. It couldn't have killed my dudes, so maybe that's overkill, but let's get our damage in when we can. Four. Yeah, it's annoying. Shed my fire intervention right now. So I lose 1, I get in. If he double blocks and kills 1 without trading, then I get in 7 damage. So I think this is a fine draw. You just save mana to play our Arcanist, so I can set up for the Journey Mage next turn. It doesn't even have to be the Arcanist. Could be the Goblin. It's fine too. All right. Sure. That does not help you, my friend. Oh, I guess it does. It's 1 life. The 1 life is actually kind of annoying. What you doing? Sure. That's the win for us if he blocks that. If he blocks the Cyclops, he gets another turn. It's the value play for him, right? Like, that gives him a second blocker if we play a second creature. If he blocks the 4/4 and just chump blocks and we play another creature, he's in the same problem he was last turn. He now has even worse, right? Right now he has two decisions to make here, right? This way, if he blocks this, he's only has to, if I don't play a creature, he's fine. Or if I do play a creature, all he has to do is play 1 creature, assuming I have nothing in hand. But I do have something in hand, so it's a little bad for him, but I think it's the right play. There's a wizard to trigger the Journey Mage. The Journey Mage goes in and kills him. All right. Green screen, filthy ace, Kukar. All right, deck has outperformed what we were expecting it to do. So that's good, even with 2 land screws to start with. I don't know, maybe I should be explaining more of the thinking of why I'm doing the actions of what I'm doing so you guys can keep up and then you can see why. But I feel like a lot of times I do explain what I'm doing and then the immediate next response is, how come you're doing that? Or why didn't you do such and such? So, amazing how not getting land screwed makes the deck look okay, right? That is kind of crazy. All right, we've got land again, so that's a thing. I like it when I explain the lines. I can try. Time for the reverse sweep. I don't think so. I think we're going to end here. Although my opponent did just mulligan, so we just got value. This hand is, I mean, we've got 3 land, and we've got a 2, a 3, and a 4. 2, 3, 3, 4, and he just put scry 1 top, so he presumably got what he wanted here. And the 2 is just there basically to trade, but we'll see. We might get 2 damage in, face damage in with it. Is this okay? 2/2 first strike totally shuts us down there, so that means my plays, the Journey Mage threatens nothing. The 2/3 threatens to actually trade. Presumably he's going to play a black permanent in a second though, and we're going to be stalled forever and lose. So I can't 3-2 him here, because if I 3-2 him, he just still trades and he doesn't attack. I'd actually prefer he attacked. He's not going to. That's good for me. All right, now I can attack with the Scholar. Do that before playing mana to not give him an option to see what's happening here. I do lose the ping doing this. I've already committed to the attack. I'm going to play the Cyclops, right? So I'm not going to play the 3-2 anyways, but I want him to block and trade. He's probably not going to want to do that. Oh, he's got double first strike. Oh, he could have just fucking killed me. He messed up and I messed up there. That was a shitty attack. Because he could have just double first strike and killed it. But luckily he didn't notice either. Okay. Yeah, we bluffed the combat trick. He didn't want to do it. So we got some damage in. It's fine. He just assumed we were playing something strong. That's super good for us. Because now I have removal to get rid of the Knight of the Grace. I'm not even upset about removing a 2/2 for 5. I'm a bit worried he has the invulnerability one, which he might. Looks like he's thinking about a combat trick. No. Alright, he could still have a combat trick here. He wants to eat something else, that's fine. It's funny. I mean, to be fair, our bluff probably looked pretty good because we just like, we didn't even think about it. We're like, we're going, we got this. We were 100% confident, but it's hilarious that the confidence comes from ignorance as opposed to having an answer. Takes the damage. That's so, I mean, I guess he just doesn't want to chump. I was gonna say it's weird, but it's not really that weird. Dark bargain to go down to 8. That's ballsy. That's... I would like my lightning spell. Wizard's Lightning or Shivan Fire would both be great here. Barring that, I'd take Mind Control into Island or Mind Control into Mountain. That's just to block the Cyclops, otherwise he'd pump it. So what's his second play here? Combat Tricks for Days is his second play. Isn't the pump just better than the combat trick? Sure. I think we're going to lose the Cyclops this turn. I want to see what he does before I play cards. Arguably, maybe I should have played Journey Mage if we think we're going to lose the Scholar for the 2 damage face. Seems a weird block. I'm not running a 3/1 first striker into him quite yet. Next turn. Actually, with that rationale, I probably should have played Journey Mage. Just because I'm almost certainly playing the Keldon Overseer next turn. I can still Chronicler Journey Mage depending on what he does here. I feel like that was a very unnecessary play. Couldn't he have just 2/4? If he just cast the thing as a 3/3 and gang blocked it with the Disciple and the 1/1, he'd have killed the. He would have traded the bird and killed my guy and had a 3/3 on the board, and he didn't have to use his fucking Vicious Offering. That seems like such a bad play to me. All right, so we'll get unpunished for playing the Journey Mage. And now we have a decision. The decision is, do we play Chronicler now? It's our only value card. Let's say he plays a creature next turn. So he blocks the 3 and the 2. We get through the 3 and the 3, actually. We get through with 4 and he's dead. If he plays 2 creatures, he's at 1. And we presumably lose 2 creatures. I think we're going to hold the Chronicler. And it's hedging, right? If he plays 2 creatures, if he plays 1 creature, it doesn't matter. If he plays 2 creatures, we're a little salty. That's fine. We'll get some value back. I'm going to Fiery Intervention. I think I'm going to Fiery Intervention the Disciple here. Oh, no, not with this board. So I'll just kill the Acolyte and swing again. The 1/1 doesn't trade with anything. Okay. Can't Chronicle back the removal. It takes 6 to do that. So I don't have the mana for it. Remember, you can mouse over my cards on stream if you're unsure. Ultimate bluffs when you don't know you're bluffing. I used to play poker with a different girlfriend in a different life. I used to play poker with her, and like a couple times. Well, I used to play poker with a lot of people, but occasionally when we didn't have enough players, we would recruit her and some of her friends to play. It's not like it wasn't fun to do that, but it wasn't really like the serious poker that I was really into at that time. But we'd play just for something to do, and it was fun. And I remember one of her roommates was like that. And there was this one night that her roommate was just fucking on fire. And it was impossible to do anything against that girl because she didn't bluff and she always had the cards. like not like you didn't call her most of the time. It was just like she had no fucking ideas. You could get no reads off of her, and she was just on fire for whatever reason that night, just hitting all the hands. And you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't just sit here and fold nonstop. And like, anyways, so that's how it was right there, I guess. All right, well, we got to 6 with this deck. I don't think it's deserving of 6, potentially. It's a third party, Duran, who makes it, I believe. Was it Wizard Staff? I thought it was a third party. In fact, I'm like Didn't have WOTC on it when I downloaded it. I don't think I can find the extension. What's it called? It's called Deckmaster. I don't know if that means anything to any of you guys. Okay, I've got a 2 and a 5 and bombs and mana, so this is a keep. It's probably a little less tempo heavy. It's kind of annoying when I draw Sulfur Falls in the opening hand because it's just exact. I mean, it's not annoying. This card's amazing, but it's annoying in the sense that we'll play the lower value of the 2/2 drops. The other one potentially has menace if I ever kick a spell. I do have a couple spells in my deck that I might kick her, so let's play that just in case, but it's a pretty close, it's not much of a decision there. All right, do I want to trade for that? I don't want to trade for that. I think I want to kill it in tempo here. So let's drop the land, let's remove it. Let's go ahead and hit face. Drop Goblin. Okay. One, two. It's great. Doesn't trade for shit. Now it probably fixes his land. He's probably missing a color. Probably about to feel pain. Yep. All right. I need to draw a land here. It's good. I need to draw another land. I like the block here. Without another land, I can't deal with pretty much anything that blocks a 2. I love a deep freeze here. It means he doesn't have a good answer. And I actually just drew a pretty good card if it wasn't a land, which is a hasted creature. It only has 1 toughness, but on this board, it's pretty great because he's got no blockers. So I'm going to get at least 3 damage out of it. And maybe as much as 6. We'll see. Icy Manipulator with the land to play it. You know who runs Fiery Interventions times like 25? Can I steal it? I can steal an Icy Manipulator. Okay. Alright, this is another good card. It's a playable on curve. That's fine. That is a land. It's tapped, unfortunately. He's never going to attack with that turtle. Do I want to get in for 5? Yeah, I do. Okay. It's 1+1 in flying. You want to race? We can race. All right, lots of answers here. So I can't mind control the Icy yet, so we're gonna wait on that. I can't tap the Snapper with the Icy anyways. I think I have Siege Gang Commander here. The question is, do I swing or not? I mean, clearly I'm going to Siege Gang here, right? But the question is, do I swing first to get the 2 damage in? I think not. Gang wins next turn, though. So a counterspell here. If he runs a counterspell, does something. If he has removal for the Siege Gang, it doesn't win. I guess the creatures next turn are good enough with the 1/1s for next turn. Should have played that after the combat phase, I guess. But he's got 6 mana, right? All right, of course I couldn't attack this turn because Icy, right? He wishes he had that deep freeze back so bad right now. Does anything stop sacrifice right now? I guess the order matters, huh? Let's go to combat. Let's go to attack. Sure. Let's go ahead and attack with everything. Can sacrifice this goblin too, right? I'm not going to give him the commander in case there's any tricks. I think I can kill him without the commander, so I don't need to risk it here. I'm worried about a life gain trick. Yeah, I can sack itself, but I don't get any value doing that. Yeah, that damage is totally a-okay for me. Let's go ahead and activate this. Target a creature or player, sure. Sacrifice a goblin. Presumably you can remove it now and I can do one more in response. Or presumably he's got nothing. All right. Goblin Commander. First pick coming in clutch for game 7. I understand I can sack goblins in response to a life gain trick, but he was at 4 health. And I can only have 2 red mana, so I can only sacrifice 2 goblins. So I need to attack first to get damage down to leave him at 2 health. So then if he life gains, I can, so it would go. So imagine I didn't attack, right? Imagine if I just sacrificed a goblin, right? Sacrifice a goblin. It puts on the stack, ping him for 2. He puts life gain on the stack. I sacrifice my second goblin, pings him for 2. The first one goes off on that stack, pings him for 2. He's at 2. His life gain goes off. Then my second goblin goes off, and he survives it. So I have to attack first there, so he doesn't have a chance to life gain out of it. We just went 7-2 with that deck. Unexpected, quite honestly. The Boris's clutches or whatever they were did very little for us total. Maybe not. Maybe they won us a game or two. It's tough to say. We did get to cast it 3 times. Kind of excited to go from 0-2 to 7-2, especially with our 2 bosses being land screws, which is kind of nice. Maybe the deck was better than we gave it credit for after the fucking start. It's kind of nice to go 5-0, 5-0, to go 5-0 twice today in competitive draft and then 7-0 in quick draft. That's a pretty nice set of drafts for today. Let's go ahead and claim the prize. MVP of this deck, the Goblin, for sure. The Siege Goblin. 3-1 haste, we're okay, yeah, for sure. All right, let's open our packs. Then we'll draft. I don't know what that card's doing. I don't know if it does anything. Yeah. I think we got kind of lucky in some of those matchups. Opponents didn't have very good openers, and the deck had some tempo once it got going. I mean, the Cyclopses are great if my opponent has no creatures, right? Like, they're 4/4s for 4. That's amazing. It's just if they ever get a board. So a lot of our play was designed to try to get them to trade to keep their board low so I could get Cyclopses out. Because you saw that game that stalled where we just got wrecked by, I mean, we got mana screwed that game, but the game where the black-green deck, black-green-red deck, we just sat there with board. I'm like, we're never going to win this ever. All right, guys, I'm going to offer you guys the choice here for the next one. It's really nice to win. Feels great.